Hello and welcome to another watercolour demo. I'm going to start this one off, just clear water all over the paper, using the large Ron Ransonate brush. It's the I think it's 45mm. There's about 4 different sizes. I used the large one. There is a one bigger than this, but it was just a bit too big, I felt, for what I was trying to do. I mean, I only use 15 by 11 paper. If you're using the big stuff, then it might come in handy, but for me, this is about as big as I want to go, really. This is just ultramarine, bit of Payne's grey now as well. I'm going to try and keep this one very limited palette, so I'm trying to create like a sort of winter scene. Simple sky, that's a very, very simple sky. In the colour down there, something like that. And then just giving a little bit of raw sienna. I'm just trying to define where everything's going to go. It's going to be like a tree up there. Coming down there, something like that. That's going to be big trees up there. What I'll do, I'll get the rigger brush out and do a load of limbs and trunks and all this sort of stuff. Just give me a rough idea of where I'm going to put everything. Right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. No, I'm going to use this brush and just very finely just put the hint of a sort of building there in the background. So I'm coming somewhere like that. Little triangular shape. Little roof on there and something right next to it. And there's something next to that as well, it comes down there like that. And because the paper's still wet, it's all softening off and it just looks like something just hazy going on in the distance. No detail, very, very light. Just gives the impression, just a building going on. I do need a bit of practice with my buildings really, that's why I might look a bit tentative at the moment, so I'm quite sure how this is going to turn out. So that's giving me just a rough idea of how to lay it out. So I'm going to do now, pull this flat, just stretching slightly, and pull this flat and I'm going to, so that's how I wanted the building, just very, very, very loose. And so what I'm going to do next is get me, so I've got two, so I used to use that one and then I bought that one which is slightly bigger, which I actually thought was that, I didn't realise how small that one was, but this is brilliant. This is a proper number 3 rigger. It's great for doing trees and branches. This one's great for doing little distant figures and birds in the sky. So I'll keep the two now. So this is what I call my tree rigger. So I'm going to get a water. I'll probably just I'll just use Payne's grey, ultramarine, raw sienna. I might just use burnt umber. That's probably the only other colour I'll use on this. So I'm just going to mix some of those colours together, just anything dark, just to get some of these background trees and branches. And start somewhere around here, and I'm just going to start flicking stuff all over the place. These ones can go on while it's still a little bit damp. Plus there's not much colour in this brush, very light, so it's sort of blending in nicely with that background. So I'm just sort of flicking up, and there's a few on this side as well. A few up there like that. Now let's get it a little bit darker, so I'm doing brown, raw sienna, a bit of ultramarine, a bit darker now, and it's just flicking it up. A bit more water, a bit of brown, a bit of blue. Keep reloading the brush as you're going along. I use the Hake brush, bash some of that in down the bottom. So for a bit more coming off the top, just going right off the top of the page, out of the scene, the top, very top branches, take them straight out. Well, let's do some on this left hand side, same again. Just going burnt umber, ultramarine. You can see how now these are going on a bit stronger than those ones there, so these are more in the coming closer towards us, and that pushes those even further back. A bit more water, a bit more paint. A few more. Remember, they don't just go straight up, some to the left, some to the right, some bend round. We've got all sorts of different directions. And before you know it, you've got like a whole mass of twigs, and because when you first look at them you think, how on earth am I going to paint all them? There's just too many. It's going to take too much time, but a few flicks of the brush here and there, and you don't see you do it quicker than you think. So I'm just bashing it in all different directions, and it just looks like a massive tangled twigs and branches. It's winter, so all the leaves have fallen off, so you ain't got to worry about the leaves, although if you did a bit of dry brushwork with a Hake and you bash them in very quickly, no problem at all. So that just looks like a massive tangled twigs. A few more down there. And because I know the brush is getting quite dry, that's when I can go into the more delicate areas, which would be this, where over your background of your buildings. I know I can move over now, and there's not much on the brush. I'm not going to obscure that too much. A bit more on the other side. I've still got a nice distant building sort of softened off in the background, always sort of blurred in the haze. Right, let's get a bit of, hang on, before I do anything, paper's stretched a little bit more, so I'm just going to get it flat against this board. And I'll get the Hake brush out. Let's try a bit of raw sienna first. What's that look like? The brush was still a bit wet. That was. I thought the brush was a bit drier. Not so well. If you want to dry your brush without wiping all the paint off, just use a bit of tissue rather than get all your tea towel covered in paint. Let's go into that raw sienna. Bash that in down there. Okay, so it's just going to be just the four colours in this one. Going to have sort of road down there, so I'm going to do much higher than that. Sit that up there. Into the ultramarine. Just sort of darken this a little bit down here. Bit of brown, bit of blue. Let's just darken that a little bit up there. Just define the edge of that road. Just coming down there like that. Switch to the rigger brush. A few more things going on down there. Flick them up. Well, I'll probably paint over a lot of these anyway, so should be doing these afterwards really. I'm just doing it because I've got the brush in my hand. It's get like a really thick, something going on there, look. This one's really dark, brown, blue, almost black. That's just flicking out there, that's coming out there like that. Let's go up there, round the corner. Also a bit of fingernail work, paint over anything you don't like. And it's a little bit more on this side as well, really dark, a bit more water, a bit of brown, a bit of blue. Same with the Hake brush, just giving into that blue there, nice. Now I really want to define these edges, so I want this to look very distinctive against that back. So to get that I'm going to go really dark toned, brown, blue, and just pop in on this side as well. I don't want these exactly the same, so I'm going to bring this one slightly forward, that one slightly further back. That's enough dark. Clean the brush. I want to go back to a slightly light tone now. Let's go back into a bit of raw sienna. See a lighter now on this side. A dab of that. Dab of the burnt umber. Raw sienna. Ultramarine. Burnt umber, just constantly varying it, keeps it interesting. Yeah, a little bit more blue. Let's just bring that over there. Right up to the edge of this path. Just trying to define that a bit better. It now looks like a proper road or path, whatever it is, just coming round the corner. Let's do the same with the other side. It sort of sweeps round there. Just make that a little bit narrower round there. And it comes back in. So it's a really sharp edge now on this road. It's something like so. So I just paused it for a second then, so I could just go back to the back of the room and have a look at it just to see what it looks like from a distance. I think just need like a little figure. I'm fairly happy with the main composition, how it's worked out. I think a few little shadows going across here look good. So first before I do that, I've got to dry it. Just put a few more little bits of grasses in, bit of brown, bit of blue. I'm just going to flick up there a little bit. So I'm just doing it very light, so a lot of the time I'm not even 100% certain when it's going to actually make contact with the paper. Just very, very light. All down there. Down there. I think let's just pop some shadows in. So shadowy colour. I'm just going to mix them all together really. Raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine. I'm just looking for the sort of grey, bluey grey colour. Until I get something like that. Now I'm thinking, where's the sun? Where is the sun? So I imagine it's sort of coming across here, sort of from left to right. So I'm going to start off, a bit of shadow in there, and then sort of coming down there, across there, and then up the other side. Again, down there, across there, and straight across the bottom. A few more shadows amongst that. A few shadows amongst all this area. Darken that slightly. Just need like a massive shadows cutting across there, something like that. Let it dry. So again, just give it a quick pause so I could have a look at it from the back of the room, and I'm fairly happy with that. So I'm just going to, I think we just need a focal point, so I'm just going to switch to my little figure brush. I just want to put a little man in walking down the road. So I think somewhere about there, I think. Little man and his dog. So I'm just starting off with his body and then popping in his legs. Little head, and then next to him, little dog next to him. And then don't forget their shadows as well, so that's sort of coming off, same direction. Just stick a little bird up there as well. Another one, and another one, and I'm going to call that one finished, I think. So I'm just going to sign this one. Find a dry spot, and then so let's see what it looks like with the mains on. So this is the finished painting in the main. So if we're going to have a closer look at it. So the initial wash was just a bit of ultramarine and Payne's grey, very sort of grey look, just giving the feel of that sort of winter's morning. And I'll just use exactly the same colour just to put in a very sort of vague outline of a building here in the background, just to give a backdrop to the scene. Really, no detail, but you just get the impression as there's something there. And then using the very light tones, bit of rigger work here. And you see this one here, just pulling up because it looks, using that light tone pushes it really far back in contrast to this sort of darker one here that looks more in the foreground. And you see I've tried to sort of vary this land. I only use the four colours, also bits of raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine, bits of Payne's grey in there as well. And then all rigger work for the trees. Same on the left hand side. Just a few flicks of the rig and you've got a whole mass of tangled branches and twigs. And then often, even if the sun's not out, I just if the shadows aren't there, often I'll just make them up. I think they just make the picture look much more interesting. So imagine the sort of lights coming from the left hand side. So we've got the shadows cast here across this country lane all the way, sort of down the embankment across, and then just slightly upwards, just following the contours of the land. And then finally we've got our little man there walking his dog. Just provides a focal point and a sense of scale. Well, that's it for today's painting. Thanks for watching. Many thanks to my Patreon supporters. Your pledges help buy me the time to keep making these videos and making it sustainable. Anyone else who'd like to help me, the link's always in the video description. So keep practicing. Any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.